All right, good morning and thanks for being with us today. We're now joined by head coach for Stanford, Tara Vandiver. We will go straight to questions. Media joining us today, please use your raise hand function to indicate when you'd like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. We will begin with Elliot Allman. Go ahead and unmute your microphone and ask your question.
Good morning. Good morning, Tara. Elliot Allman, San Jose Mercury News. I wasn't expecting to get the first question, but that's how it goes sometimes. You were kind of unhappy with the second round game, calling it a C game, and obviously yesterday was a big improvement. Is the team, are you seeing this team peaking? I mean, it's been on a streak. I think it's 17 consecutive victories at this point. But do you feel like you're seeing what you always hope for to get to a Final Four, or a team that peaks?
Good morning, Elliot. Thanks for getting up early. I think our team is, we've been steadily improving. And in this particular, in this particular game, we had some great contributions from a lot of people. I thought Anna Wilson had a fantastic game. Kiana's been playing really steadily, but Anna's play has really improved. We got great contributions off the bench from Hannah Jump. Ashton Prechtel stepped in and helped us. I think a lot of Fran Belibi came in and gave us a good game. I thought Haley played a really steady game. So I really see this is a young team with, with a lot of potential to keep growing. And I see really great growth. And if it's called peaking, I don't really think of peaking as the way I look at it, but improvement is, I've seen great improvement. I'm really excited about that.
Our next question will come from Steve. Unmute your microphone and ask your question.
Yeah, Tara, Steve Croner from the San Francisco Chronicle. Good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
You get asked a lot about a Kiana. I'll ask you about the other Kiana Smith from Louisville. What do you remember about Kiana Smith when you went against her when she was playing for Cal?
Well, I've been watching them on tape, and she's a very smooth player. Excellent shooter, creates well. She seems to fit in really well with their team. They have a great inside-out game, and they've got excellent perimeter shooters, and she's one of them.
Our next question will come from Nancy Armour from USA Today. Go ahead and ask your question, Nancy.
Hey, Tara, Nancy Armour from USA Today. Just curious, we've seen the emergence of some younger coaches, whether it's Dawn Staley, Adia, making the Elite Eight for the first time. And just from your perspective, how important is it to have this younger generation of coaches emerge? And what do you want to see them do in years to come?
Well, I'm really excited for Dawn. Obviously I coached Dawn in the Olympics. She's doing a fantastic job. Adia, this is her first run. She has really done a great job at Arizona. And I think that when, young coaches, young women like Dawn and like Adia are doing so well, they're great role models for young women, young players that maybe want to go into coaching. And they're just, I think they're just adding a lot of enthusiasm to our game. And I just think it's great. I'm very excited for both of them.
Our next question comes from Cheryl. Unmute your microphone and ask your question.
Cheryl Coward, Hoop Feed. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Cheryl.
You mentioned Anna briefly and how she's had a great tournament so far. And looking at some of the WNBA draft boards, she's not listed at all. Kiana's listed usually around number 10. Given that, do you think she's being underestimated, and especially given her offensive production in this tournament and her prowess on defense? I mean, a lot of WNBA coaches really value that. And of course, she said she loves playing defense.
Cheryl, Anna has just had a fantastic senior year or junior year. So, depending upon, this year gives players like Anna, players like Kiana a chance to come back for another year. So that's not really, if she's drafted, that would be great for her, but I think she also really appreciates a Stanford education and the opportunity to get even another master's. So right now, I'm very excited about how she's playing.
Our next question comes from Faith. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Coach. Faith Woodard with Next Star Media Group. My question for you is, who is your unsung hero of this tournament? I know that a lot of players, score 20, 30 points sometimes, and they get the accolades, they get the write-ups. But what about those players who, jump on those loose balls or brings a lot of energy on the bench, or even someone who makes sure that their teammates are doing what they need to do at the hotel? So
Right.
for those, players who don't score a lot of points but do those things that coaches love, who is that person for you on your team?
I think that's a great question. I think a lot of Cheryl already brought up, Anna Wilson sometimes plays in the shadow, and she's been doing a great job for us. I brought one of those players today. Hannah Jump has come off the bench for us and has really improved since last year. She's one of the players getting up early, coming over for an 8 o'clock shoot. She's one of the players that's doing extra biking when we have an off day. But I would also like to talk about one other player who I think is very special. Alyssa Jerome is a young woman on our team who, as a senior, she's a captain. She has started for us. She's come off the bench for us. No matter what, she's one of those glue players, someone that is doing all the things that you need behind the scenes for her team. So I'm really excited about Alyssa, and I've told her so.
Our next question will come from Pepper with the Next Hoops. Go ahead, Pepper.
Hi, Coach.
Good morning,
Nice to
Pepper.
talk- Good morning. Dana Evans got going in the second half yesterday. What are you going to do to shut her down?
Darn it, she did get going, didn't she, Pepper? Dana's a great player, and she's just it's just a matter of time. She's a very confident player, a very talented player. So we're going to have to work very hard, and I think it's going to be a job by committee. A lot of different people are going to have to guard Dana and are going to have to work very hard to do a great job defensively. But I have confidence in our team and our players, so we'll see what happens tomorrow, Pepper.
As a reminder, if you have a question, please use the raise hand function. We'll go to Elliot Almond now.
Hi, thanks for allowing another question. Tara, I wanted to go back to Cheryl and ask more about Anna Wilson. Do you think that everything that she's gone through, her journey has been a lot tougher than most, that she's just looking at these moments as precious moments, and there's an urgency into the way she's playing, and that's part of what we're seeing on the court?
Like you said, Elliot, it has been a journey that has involved some real twists and turns and, some very high points and low points. But Anna is playing just the best basketball of her career right now. And why not enjoy it and keep playing it? And I think that it is a function of her. She's a very spiritual person. She really, I think, enjoys the moment, understands the importance of, just the present, being present. She's also a very unselfish team player. And I think it's really fun for her to be a leader of this team when it's doing so well. And I'm really proud of her and really excited for her. And it's great for our team.
Our next question will come from Lindsay with USA Today. Go ahead.
Hi, Tara. Lindsay Schnell, USA Today. Good morning.
Good morning, Lindsay.
Talking about Dana, I assume Anna's going to guard her mostly, even if it is by committee. Stanford has been successful for so long because you recruit very smart players who can execute a scouting report. But in just a 36-hour turnaround, I was wondering how much you try to focus on Louisville versus how much are you telling your kids, we just got to be ourselves to win?
Great question, Lindsay. I think it's a combination of both. You're not going to make major changes in what you're doing, but I think you can tweak little things. And I think we have to, try to recognize what Louisville, their strengths are and what things we want to focus on. But a lot of it is we need people to come out and really play Stanford basketball, which is, it's not rocket science. You've got to take care of the basketball. Louisville turns people over. You've got to get good shots and get more and better shots than they do. And you've got to play great defense and rebound. So hopefully, we can look at things that they do. We'll make adjustments. And like you said, our team can pick up on a scouting report quickly, and I think they will. But we're going to focus on what we do well and we've been playing well in the tournament. We want to continue.
Our next question will come from Michelle. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Michelle Vogel from ESPN.com. Coach, there's been quite a lot of talk about the freshman class this year, but most of it's been focused on guards. What's the different maybe learning curve for freshman posts like Cameron? Because obviously she's had a huge impact on your team, but sometimes it's a little different for posts for various reasons than it is for guards. The challenges are a little different.
Right. Great question, Michelle. I think the learning curve is probably steep for everyone, and it might even be steeper for guards. Just in that it's. You have to learn so many things. But I think for Cam, the biggest adjustment is how physical the game is inside and how aggressive, the junior and senior post players are. But I think she's really holding her own. I think she's doing extremely well. For Cam, it's just a matter of staying in the game. And if she's in the game, she posts just fantastic numbers for us in her rebounding and her scoring. She's a very intelligent player. She passes the ball well. She's very versatile. So I think, just the sky is the limit for Cam.
Our next question comes from Steve. Go ahead.
Yeah, Steve Kroner again from the San Francisco Chronicle. Tara, I believe Anna said yesterday in her news conference that talking about defense, she says that you tell your players that you don't necessarily recruit them for defense. You recruit them because of what they can do offensively. But your defense this season has been outstanding, consistent. And not to have anybody shoot 42% against you all season is really a tribute. Why has your defense been so effective this season?
Well, thanks, Steve. I think a lot of it is having players that buy in like Anna. They want to be two-way players. Anna got in the starting lineup based on her defense. And I think our team sees that, and other people say, well, I want to play, so I better play defense too. And Kiana's a very good defensive player. I think Lexi and Lacey work really hard at the defensive end of the floor. And everyone is working on their defense. I think everyone is working to be, there's different forms of defense. Some players are going to be more on-ball defenders and off-ball, and other people are going to be off-ball defenders. But everyone, I think, understands we need two-way players. And, I think Hannah Jump's defense has really improved this year, and that's helped her play more. Our post defense is getting better. I think that's been the biggest challenge that we've had with young players like Fran and like Cam and Ashton and Haley to say, hey, you can't play high school defense. You've got to really move your feet. Be aggressive and play position, and do your work early, not wait until someone gets the ball.
Our next question comes from Doug Feinberg with AP. Go ahead.
Good morning, Coach. Doug Feinberg, the AP. I apologize if you were asked this before. I jumped on a little bit late. We're going to have a new first-time Final Four member with either Arizona or Indiana, which I'm sure you're proud if it's Arizona as the Pac-12 team. Do you remember your first trip to the Final Four and just what it was like to get Stanford there for the first time, so to speak?
Well, Doug, I want to help with one thing. First of all, it's really hard for me to root for Arizona or Indiana. I went to Indiana, and as a player at Indiana, we were in the AIAW Final Four. So I'm rooting for Indiana in one half and Arizona in the other half. But I do remember the first time as a coach that we went to the Final Four at Stanford, and it was an incredible, incredible time. And we got there, and I just remember looking at Thompson Bowling Arena and thinking, oh my gosh, wow. And I just said, I don't know if we're ever coming back, so let's try to win it while we're here. And we had a great Final Four. Obviously won the first time we went, and it's hard to get there and it's hard to win it. It'll be congratulations to either Indiana or Arizona, and I'm excited for either team.
We have time for two more questions. The first one will come from Lindsay with USA Today. Go ahead.
Hi, Tara. Lindsay with USA Today again. You know, I was curious, this last year has been so weird. We've all been locked in our houses. You especially, I think, people who live in Stanford can't do anything. And I know you're a basketball junkie. Have you watched more college basketball this year than ever before? And in particular, like, have you watched Louisville this season, maybe where you wouldn't have been able to in the last years?
Well, one of the things, Lindsay, I watch basketball constantly anyway, regardless of the pandemic. But, in some ways, we have been, our schedule, your testing, your traveling has been, my time has been more consumed with kind of other things besides just being at home and watching basketball. But I have had a chance to watch a lot of games, and that's been, I think, a sunshine through the pandemic has been basketball season. And I know it's been has been great for a lot of people that have been shut in, including my mom, who's been watching basketball, and a lot of people that are not able to get out. So I wouldn't say I've watched any more than usual, but I've definitely enjoyed it.
Cheryl, did you still have a question?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
One thing that stands out in the statistics column in this tournament is your improvement, the team's improvement of shooting 3-point shots. I mean, it's improved from 38% to 48% in this tournament. Is that something that has surprised you, or has it been a point of emphasis?
I don't think it surprised me, nor has it been a specific point of emphasis. I think that we, one of the hard things, Cheryl, during the year was we really didn't get in a gym to shoot, and as the season, as we got back into Stanford, our players have been able, they've been in limited quarantine, but they have been able to go to the gym so they could get on the gun, they can get shots up. And, this, just being able to get extra shots up, I think has really helped our team, and I think that's improved our shooting.
Coach, thank you for your time today. Good luck as you prepare for Louisville.
Thank you.
We'll next hear from student athlete Hannah Jump. If you have a question for her, please use the raise hand function now to get in the question queue.
All right, Hannah, all yours. Hop right up there.
Good morning, Hannah, and thanks for joining us. Our first question will come from Daniel. Daniel, unmute your microphone and ask your question.
Hi, Hannah. Daniel from the Stanford Daily. When Kiana passed the 3-point record, she mentioned that she was hoping that you would break it by the time you ended with Stanford. Is that something that's been on your mind?
I wouldn't say it's something I'm really thinking about, but no, Kiana's a great 3-point shooter and someone that I look up to a lot, definitely out there on the court. But yeah, I mean, if I got it, it'd be great, but no, definitely not something that's completely on my mind.
Our next question will come from Elliot Allman. Go ahead.
Hi, Hannah. Elliot Allman, San Jose Mercury News. Good morning. You came last year, and Tara was telling me that, oh my God, just wait till you see her shoot. Nobody shoots like her. And can you just take us through your freshman year to now and getting comfortable? I mean, obviously we saw last season how well you could shoot, and we've seen it this season. But it looks like you're really coming into your own now.
Yeah, I mean, coming in as my freshman year, I mean, shooting was always something I knew that I was able to do and able to provide for the team. But I think the difference from my freshman to sophomore year was just kind of realizing that I could do a lot more for this team. So I put in a lot of work on the off season, getting in shape, really focusing on eating better, my nutrition, and just kind of figuring out what I could do for this team to help them out this year. So yeah, I did that this year, and then I just feel like I'm becoming a lot more comfortable, and I have great role models as seniors, and just listening to them and them showing me the reins. So yeah, I think coming in this year, just put an emphasis on that.
Our next question will come from Faith. Go ahead.
Hi, Hannah. My question for you is a pretty more personal question as a player. I know when I played, as a former player, on game days, I had certain things that I did to make sure that I was in the right mind space to play, whether that's listening to music or, taking that shower before the game, getting a nap in. every player has their pregame ritual. So I'm curious to know what your pregame ritual is and how do you make sure you're going into the game with your best energy?
Yeah, I'd say one thing that I do typically every game day is I call my parents. I just like to have a conversation with them. It settles me down and kind of just gets me a little bit distracted from, what I need to do. So yeah, just calling them, I think on game day is something that is pretty ritual for me.
Our next question will come from Steve. Go ahead. Unmute your microphone, Steve.
Yeah, Hannah, Steve Cronin from the San Francisco Chronicle. One stat to me that might define your team right now is your field goal percentage defense at 32.6, I believe it is. I think Anna Wilson said yesterday that Tara tells you that she didn't recruit players for their defense. She recruited you because what you can do with the ball, not stopping it. But your defense obviously has been consistent all season. Why?
Yeah, we all, play offense like you said. That's why Tara recruited us. But our defense is something that we've really been focusing on, whether that's scouting report defense and just honing in on what the coaches are telling us and player tendencies, or just getting in our stance and just playing defense, playing scrappy. I think Anna is the epitome of that. She's a very smart player, hustles really well, and I think she really shows our team how the rest of us should be playing out there.
Our next question comes from Lindsay with USA Today. Go ahead.
Hi, Hannah. Lindsay Schnell from USA Today. Yesterday, I tweeted that I think you have the best basketball name, and your parents responded to my tweet and said you're also an awesome daughter. And what you just said about calling them being in your pregame ritual, it made me wonder, when was the last time you saw your parents, and when was the last time you gave them a hug? Kiana told me she hasn't seen hers or gave hers a hug since the middle of September.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you the last time I gave my parents a hug. With being back on campus, I still wasn't allowed to go home even though they lived so close. We were in limited quarantine. So yeah, it's probably definitely earlier towards the year when we arrived on campus.
Our next question comes from Chantel. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, Hannah. Stanford came into this tournament as the only team that really understands sort of how to stay in a hotel for an extended period of time, given your season this year. One of the things I think is interesting is that you came into this tournament with a fun committee. So 2 questions. The first is, how important is it to the team right now to have outlets provided by the fun committee? And 2, Anna Wilson said yesterday that in the table tennis team rankings, you're one of the best. She credited it to your large hands. I'm curious, give us a breakdown, and if you think there's anyone in the tournament right now that could beat you at table tennis.
Yeah, like you said, we've been on the road a lot this year. So kind of figuring out things that we could do to just provide kind of an outlet was definitely important. So we're really appreciative of that. But yeah, the ping pong tournament has been getting pretty intense. We've had some close games as of late. I think the final 4 are Lexi and Ashton, and then I'm playing Celia. So yeah, I think the games are going to be really good. I would like to say I might win the whole thing, but we'll see how it goes.
Our next question will come from Pepper. Go ahead.
Thanks for calling on me. Pepper Percy with the Next. Nice to talk with you, Hannah. Coach just mentioned you being the type of player who'll get up early for a shoot around and you being a great light off the bench. What does that say about your work ethic that someone like Coach Vandervee would say that about you?
Yeah, thank you. Definitely something from my freshman year to sophomore year that I've really tried to hone in on is just putting in all the extra work. So whether that's getting up a little bit earlier to just get some shots in or getting on the bike, I think just doing all the little extra things has really helped me as a player get in shape and just be a lot more comfortable when I am out there on the court.
We have time for a couple more questions. If you have a question at this time, use your raise hand function. Go ahead, Lindsay.
Hi, Hannah. Lindsay from USA Today Sports again. I'm going to piggyback off Chantel's question. I'm curious, who's the best trash talker on the team in the table tennis tournament? And also, we've been hearing so much about the semifinals. When are you guys actually playing them?
Best trash talker, I would probably, I say Wilder was pretty good at trash talking us, but I beat him last round, so he's not in it anymore. But the semifinals hopefully will take place today with a little bit of time. We'll see how it goes, but we'll keep you updated.
Our next question comes from Elliot.
Hi, thanks. Thanks again. Hannah, you have a big game tomorrow, and I wanted to ask you about Louisville. What do you see your responsibility? Obviously, with Dana being so great, there's going to be a tough matchup there. But what do you see yourself being able to do when and if Tara calls on you?
Yeah. I mean, just coming in, providing a spark and energy off the bench. I mean, it's definitely been kind of my role all season, so just kind of doing that again. And then just playing solid defense, paying attention to scouting report, getting on the O boards, getting rebounds, whether my shot's going or not, just kind of paying attention to that and playing solid defense is definitely something that I'll be focused on tomorrow.
Do we have any additional questions at this time? I'll ask a follow-up question about the ping pong tournament. If you do win, are you getting a prize or just a title, or what's the end goal there?
I don't think there's a prize, but just saying they're the ping pong winner, I think, will be enough.
And Elliot, go ahead and ask the last question.
I appreciate that very much. Thanks. This is just simply a follow to what I asked you about Louisville. What you guys have had a chance to at least scout a little bit of them and probably saw their game. What do you see as problematic for you guys?
I don't know about problematic, but I think we just need to come in as the more aggressive team, make sure we're boxing out, getting on the glass, rebounding, and just kind of playing comfortable, letting our offense come to us, managing our turnovers. I think if we do that, we'll be in good shape.
Hannah, thank you for your time today. Good luck as you prepare for the Elite Eight as well as the ping pong tournament.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. You can find a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaa.veritone.com. Thank you for joining us and have a good day.